in shadows, hiding away. A hero awaits to emerge into day. His legacy lives in his son by his side. They're chasing a truth that can no longer hide. Captain Thunder and Blue Bolt, this is where the storm begins. Fighting unfairness and clearing his name, lightning strikes and justice wins.
On a catwalk, Teresa struts her stuff, but the fame and attention just isn't enough. When the darkness descends, turning day to night, she takes to the skies with a blinding light. She's a sight to behold, sexy and powerful, brazen and bold. She's turning up for the fight, rooting out evil and shining so bright. Electric bolts from a stormy sky, leather wings of a dragon's flight. A psychic sword cuts through the night, a fiery heart standing ready to fight. Southern nights, they rise and soar, God in the south, yeah, they're ready to roar. From the shadows to the shining lights, that they'll protect you day and night. Southern nights.
In the shadow of the city, she listens deep, every whisper, every murmur, every secret we keep. Her ears catch the echoes of a world in despair. Murcielaga, she bad, she's always aware. Clearing streams in stables cold and gray, shadow stands while horses softly neigh. He tells the creatures in the barn each night that one day he'll wear armor shining bright. From dawn to dusk he works with honest hand, feeding mares and working on the land. But he has his heart set on the table round, to join the knights who bravely serve the crown. With a sword and shield he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas. With a sword and shield he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas. But chivalry demands self-sacrifice, and when folks need help, this boy does not think twice. He meets the need, though it costs him his dream. But maybe things are more than they seem. With a sword and shield he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas.
There's a shop on the corner with a sign that glows. Step inside if you dare, where the oddness flows. Ancient whispers echo through the dusty air. Shelves of fallen deities, all beyond repair. Gods and services, mystical merchandise. Gods and services, wanna roll the dice. Fuses in the bargain bin, thunder on the cheap. Hades sells for half off while his minions creep. Aphrodite's beauty faded over time. Now she runs the counter in this celestial five and dime. Gods and services, mystical merchandise. Gods and services, wanna roll the dice. Gods and services, wanna roll the dice. Zeus in the bargain bin, thunder on the cheap. Hades sells for half off while his minions creep. Aphrodite's beauty faded over time. Now she runs the counter in this celestial five and dime. Gods and services, mystical merchandise. Gods and services, wanna roll the dice. Gods and services, wanna roll the dice.
Tony's back in town today, popping high, he's here to stay. Everyone can feel the vibe, chosen one of CG's tribe.
Jumping in with flaring grace, half these smiles on every face. Ribbit, and off we go. Tony's the star of the show. Bow down to Tony. He's the frog, our one and only. Chosen one, we've waited so long. Now he's back to right every wrong. Leaping through the streets at night, bringing joy and pure delight. Crowds are cheering everywhere. Frog Tony's back without a care. Left and hopping right, sparking magic in the night. CG's hero love so true, Tony's here for me and you. Bow down to Tony. He's the frog, our one and only. Chosen one, we've waited so long. Now he's back to right every wrong. Bow down to Tony. He's the frog, our one and only. Chosen one, we've waited so long. Now he's back to right every wrong. Every wrong! Leaping through the streets at night, bringing joy and pure delight. Crowds are cheering everywhere. Frog Tony's back without a care. Hopping left and hopping right, sparking magic in the night. CG's hero love so true. Tony's here for me and you. Me and you. Let's re-roll.
What's up, meatbags? It is the often imitated, never duplicated, chosen one of CG, Chicano Stanley, bad guy, bad dude, bad actor. I know you love the song, but I am here to right every single wrong. That dipshit who calls himself Frog, motherfucking Tony, and I just lost TJ. TJ was literally here just seconds ago. Gone. I don't know where he went. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. Lots of comic book news. Lots of campaigns to promote, lots of things to get excited about, to nerd out over. Of course, if you are a CG creator of any sort, if you artist, writer, you're a promoter, you want to hop on, just hit me up. If you're not in the green room, the hottest green room in CG, then hit me up. I'll add you, and I'll definitely send you the link. But also, according to Blinded, you need to fuck Vito. I didn't know if you put him in the back room to speak. No, I didn't. He just, like, I was ready to end my spiel, and then he just left. There we go. There's TJ.
Yeah, my internet's busted right now because of the rain.
We got a lot to talk about. I want to say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. About 14 tabs open right now, TJ. So we got a lot to discuss. Hopefully, you'll be here. Gross. Lots of there. No living, breathing thing in the universe wants to fuck Vito. Ooh. Come on, guys. No drama. We're not here to discuss drama. We're not here to talk about.
Save Vito. All that for tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta. We're drama free. This is just us nerding out, talking comics, going over some articles, news of the week, and things like that. But before we get to that, TJ, how you been? Big storm over there where you at?
Yeah, I showed you, right? Like, showed a picture of how it looks like outside my window. God damn.
That's outside your window?
Yeah.
Guys, you have to understand the reason I'm saying this, the reason I'm asking that's outside your window is because literally it is a telescopic view down into this big gated open area. There's a giant fountain, right? Like all kind of flower beds. Like it looks like it was taken from the third story of a mansion. This picture that TJ sent in the group chat. It's like, hey, look, guys, look how it's raining outside, and it's just this huge fucking complex.
It's just a condo. Come on.
Sure it is. Yeah. Anyway, anything else other than the rains down in Transylvania?
I was just done watching Creature Commandos. Watching it straight after Superman actually made it better somehow. Because I ended up becoming the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, just pointing at the screen every time I recognize something. It seems to establish a lot of shit. Like, I do regret that they made it animated because nobody's watching that shit. Nobody cares. But at least, there are lots of hints of things that are coming in the other movies and series and shit. That's nice.
Blinded says Creature Commandos was mid. He didn't like it. He not a fan.
It did have emotional moments, so that was nice. It's a lot like Suicide Squad, I guess.
I'm an advocate. I've been saying it for years that they need to make animated shows that are within the, whether it's DCU or MCU, right? So hearing you say that it's bad, that no one's watching it, I think the marketing, you got to really hammer home the point that this is canon.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you're going to do something like Creature Commandos, I think you need to, like, it is in canon, but make nothing really important, right? Like, these are C-tier characters that maybe will be like shouted out in like an Easter egg in like one of the main movies or something. But this is just like, oh, these are other things also happening in the DCU. But I mean, if you don't watch it, it's not like you're not going to miss anything for Superman. You're not going to miss anything for Green Lantern, right? It's just a thing that exists. It's like if you don't pick up that Booster Gold comic, right, you're not going to be confused with the overall DC universe, right? It's just a thing that exists on the fringes. And I know all the Booster Gold fans are not going to be really mad. Fuck you, Tony. He's not on the fringes. It's the greatest character ever.
That is what that show really is. But at the same time, why did you start with that?
I think it was just in the works. I think that's what it was because it was faster to produce and everything. Bunny said, "Nah, the characters are good, but the story's so bad. Frankenstein was so annoying and unfunny. Well, he's like a simp, isn't he? Isn't he like a medieval
Frankenstein
simp?
was just David Harbour as himself.
Frankensimp, just all through the decades.
And the bride for some reason was Amy Winehouse. That was weird. Like how are you an ancient, 19th century, 18th century character, and you sound like Amy Winehouse? That was weird.
Yeah, well, it's weird. Like the bride is so weird because the bride is built specifically for Frankenstein, like according to the story and everything, right? And then it's like, yeah, but she doesn't love Frankenstein. It's like, oh, it's really bad for you, bud. It's really. I like the OG Creature Commandos and Weird War Tales. Yeah, I think they reference that and stuff, right? Don't they? But anyway, TJ said he'll be back. He's got to go check on the estate. The maids got lost in the big mansion. He's got to make sure that they're taken care of. As for me, I'm still trying to adjust to getting all the content out that we need to get out. While I'm waiting for TJ and Finbar to finish drawing the comic, I'm just sitting around writing. I think every day, almost like every day, I'm writing some new bits of lore, some new bits of canon for the characters and stuff. So by the time the first issue comes out, I'm going to have like a literal stack of just papers that are all just canon events that haven't happened yet or that you guys don't know about. That will probably never, ever see the light of day, TJ. When I die, you guys are going to see like the unpublished works. Like when Tupac died, they found all those tapes, all those mixtapes that he made. That's what's going to happen when I die. You're just going to find like a big pile of papers. And like, oh my God, look at all these cool characters that Tony came up with and all these stories.
George Gatsis in the future will gather all that and then make, just like what he's doing with all the comics, the old ones.
I'll make sure my family knows to get in contact with George. Like after I die, make sure that Critical Blast and George, make it a smooth transition. They can go ahead and publish all the works. Hologram Frog Tony? No holograms. No, please. So yeah, I've been busy. TJ's been busy. You've heard me mention Finn, and I don't know if he said this publicly. I don't know if he wanted me to say this publicly. But it looks like he might be gone just a little bit longer than anticipated. So the return of Finn has been postponed by, I think, like a month, right, TJ? That's what he said. So, hopefully he's out there. He doesn't get his fingers blown off. He doesn't, lose any limbs, or at least any of the upper limbs. He could lose the lower limbs. He's missing a leg or a foot.
Right.
In fact, if he got shot in the leg, it would probably get him home quicker. So then he would just be laid up and he'd have nothing to do but draw, right? So I think it's almost a benefit. I should almost like hire somebody from like Mossad to go. Could you just wing him? Just wing him in the leg. Just send him back home. But anyway, it's gonna be a good day. It's not a good day, TJ.
Oh,
having to admit that I might be wrong. I don't like, being wrong is not a thing that I'm used to. It's not a feeling I'm accustomed to, right? But I think I might have been wrong about Predator versus the Marvel Universe. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it says the leader of the Predator invasion is revealed, and Spider-Man fans should be worried. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why? Why would I be wrong? Well, TJ, if you remember, I said that this sounded stupid, and I gave various reasons why this would make no sense. And how would the Predator come? And, he doesn't know anything about the Marvel Universe. And obviously,
right.
Those characters would take advantage of that. Well, it seems like the exact thing that I said is the exact thing that they're doing, TJ, because Predator is teaming up with Kraven the Hunter, and that's how he's
Yeah.
going to kill the Marvel Universe.
I saw Liam go over that. I was like, wait a minute. They're actually cooking. Hold on.
Yeah. So again, that was like the exact premise I said. I was like, well, if it was like Kraven the Hunter, like killing people, like it would make sense because he knows them. Like literally, I should have just waited a week, and they would have been like, yeah, that's exactly what you thought was a good idea is exactly what they're doing. So spoilers, guys. If you well, I already spoiled it. But the following contains major spoilers for Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, #1. Says that one of Spider-Man's oldest enemies is leading the Predator invasion of Earth, and he's perfect for the job. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe by Benjamin Percy, Marcelo Ferreri, Daniel Picciato. Man, there's a lot of names. Let's just forget all those names. Picks up not long after the events of Predator vs. Spider-Man, which saw the titular hero and his allies come together to stave off the threat of the murderous Predator. Why do they got to use the name that I can't pronounce? Yangcha? Yeah, whatever the fuck the Predator race is called. Hunter, known as the Skinner. Of course, Spider-Man wasn't the first Marvel icon to come face to face with the Predator, nor was he the only one to survive the encounter. Of course, no one but Kraven the Hunter could possibly find a home for themselves among the Predator race after the fact, just as no one but Kraven could possibly lead them in their impending invasion of the Earth. Now, while Kraven is cool, like Kraven is like leading them and everything, and like he's a hunter, they're hunters, that whole dynamic. I don't think there should really be an invasion, right? Like the Predators never came off as like an invading species, right? An invasive species. They were like just like, hey, there's dangerous animals here, let's hunt them. They would almost seem like they would want to preserve the Earth the way it is, so that way they could come back and hunt superheroes over and over again, right?
Depends on the tribe, though, based on the later movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Later movies.
The main tribe, yeah, they're the jungle tribe, right? They don't invade. They're all about preserving. They're all about competition and shit. The others, though, are all a bunch of savages.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Like, on the one hand, I do like the fact that there's like different tribes and different like quote unquote nationalities or like ethnicities within the Predator race, right? Because that's one of the complaints I've made about like aliens and stuff. Is you always have like, oh, everyone on the planet of Coruscant is the exact same. Not only look the same, but like the same culture. Like here on Earth, we got like all these different countries, we got all these different cultures, all these different ways of life. And then like whenever there's a movie with aliens, it's like the entire planet is just one culture. It's just like totally dominated by one species, one type of being, and they all share the same cultural lines and everything. So on the one hand, it's good, but on the other hand, it's like, oh man, they're predators. I really like. I don't think the Predator, out of all these spacefaring alien nations out there, I think the Predator is the one I didn't want to actually be explained. Just make them hunters, right? Anyway, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe follows hot on the heels of Predator versus Spider-Man, which itself was just the latest in a fairly long list of titles that have seen the iconic Predator prey upon various Marvel comic icons. Things began in 2023's Predator vs. Wolverine, which saw Logan come under fire by a band of Predator intent on stealing away with his adamantium skeleton as their grand trophy. This same issue befell the Black Panther, who was unable to prevent the near indestructible material from falling into the hands of his interstellar pursuers. See, this makes no sense to me, right? You have the Black Panther, who's supposed to be really smart. He's a hunter himself, and he's got vibranium weaponry. How would the Predators have beat him, right? He's always hitting above his weight class. He's always like fighting like the Hulk. He's fighting Namor. His tribe of Wakandans are like staving off invasions of Atlanteans and shit. He keeps Dr. Doom at bay, but then a Predator shows up and they're like, oh, I can't beat this guy.
Condoms are similar to the Predator race in a lot of ways too.
That's kind of racist, TJ. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, the Marvel warrior tribes. Come on,
they got dreadlocks, Tony. So come on. I mean, they're practically black people.
I know. Yeah, somebody's gonna say that. True.
Now the Predator King and his son Graveyard are intent on turning the entire world into their personal hunting ground, all before turning it into their new home. Writer Benjamin Percy previously discussed the overarching Predator-verse line of comics as well as what it has all been leading up to, stating that these stories have been patiently building towards something epic. Their interconnectedness will be revealed in this explosive, blood-drenched 5-part story. Is this Eric July talking? Not to get drama, but man, it's like guys, you gotta wait. You gotta be patient. You gotta let the entire arc play out in order to understand what's going on. This thing has been going for 2 years, TJ. 2 years. It started with Predator versus Wolverine. I do not believe for 1 second that when they put out Predator versus Wolverine, they had a 2-year plan in which it would eventually end up where we're at. I don't believe that for a second. Do you? Do you believe that? Did TJ leave? He's a good co-host. Are hard to find. Anyway, I don't think that Marvel intended on this. I think they did the Wolverine versus Predator. That did really well. They got people talking. Obviously, they were going to follow that up, and eventually they probably came up with this idea, but I don't think it was off the bat. Not off jump. Says that title, it's not misdirection. This one's going to hurt. Your favorite heroes and villains will fall. TJ's back. What's going on, TJ? Ben says, I want to see Gungans versus the Marvel Universe. Oh, that Star Wars people. You could have you could say that the X-Men. You got the interstellar Wakandans, right? The interstellar Wakandans wind up in the Star Wars universe. Then you could have the whole Jedi versus the Sith try to invade 616. TJ had to run out and meet his dealer to get that 8-ball. Probably. Are you with us, TJ? He's here in spirit. It says your favorite heroes and villains will fall even as others rise up against this extinction level event. The Predator King is here. The Predators are armed with vibranium, and Earth is now a hunting preserve. The official solicit synopsis for the first issue of Predator Kills the Marvel Universe from Marvel Comic reads, quote, it's the bloody kickoff to an epic battle between the Predators and Marvel's heroes. A Predator King emboldened by a new vibranium arsenal and aided by a surprising human ally launches an all-out invasion of Earth, claiming that the planet as a hunting preserve. You'll need to read to see just who, if anyone, will survive and to witness some shocking twists and turns as the entire Marvel Universe finds itself in the Predators' tri-laser crosshairs. So it sounds like they got their shit together at least, right? It sounds like they got Kraven the Hunter involved in all this. I hate how Comic Book Resources does their images. They don't embed the right way. All right, so how is Kraven gonna talk to them though? That's the only thing. Did Kraven kill one of the Predators? Right? You would imagine that Kraven would have had to have killed a Predator in order to get their attention or at least their respect. He's just a normal human guy. They finally greenlit them in this format, so it feels less calculated than it was behind the scenes. It says, these were in the back burn for a while. I've seen the writer on podcast discussing it. He nagged Marvel for years to do a series of Predator crossovers that he pitched. Prepare for the Predator King in Black series follow-up. Yeah. You with us this time, TJ? No, it's just here in spirit. Either way, this sounds like it's going to be a pretty decent series. I might have to pick this up. Now I might have to go back and get the Predator versus Wolverine and the Predator versus Spider-Man to try to fill up, get caught up on all the goings-ons before. Is that Star-Lord's helmet? Kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because I actually hunted down
the Guardians.
spoiler alert. Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you show Craven's helmet? They actually gave him a skull helmet. It's badass.
No, there's no picture for that. It's just that's the only picture that was solicited on the article. But like I said, sounds good. Apparently, this was something that the writer at least was planning and had ideas for. So that's neat. Killing a predator in a one-on-one fight makes you untouchable to other predators. If they were to break the taboo, they'd be hunted by their own kind. Interesting.
Yeah, that's why the super predators are exiled. See, they're like the criminals.
TJ's a silent partner. Yeah, too silent sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard because when I go to another page, I'm literally on that page and not reading anything here, and I don't even know. Like if TJ dips, I would have no idea. Like it doesn't. It makes a sound if someone comes in. It doesn't make a sound when someone leaves. So then I just look like an idiot because I'm talking to nobody.
I think I'll just stay and then wait until my internet comes back. You know.
Nah, you're good.
It keeps slowing down and then coming back. It's weird.
All right. While we're on the subject of things that people need to be interested in, guys, have you signed up for Pitt Volume 1? Don't forget, the campaign is coming soon. It's launching 8/22/25. So, I mean, if you haven't signed up, I've signed up. I'm waiting for the announcement. I'm waiting to get in on this. Liam had a stream reviewing this comic a few days ago. TJ knows because he was there too.
Yeah.
TJ's always somewhere. But yeah, Pitt Omnibus, I guess a collection. However they're going to call it, collected in a trade paperback format. You get issues 1 through 4, which is what they're launching first as Volume 1. Should be good. Should be exciting. You getting in on this, TJ?
Yeah, I might actually get this. What do they call that? What was that phrase again? Unlock memories or some shit? Teenage me used to read this.
TJ's unlocking a core memory.
Core memory, that's right. Yeah, so one of my Transylvanian relatives in the U.S. might actually bring this for me. We'll see.
So yeah, I'm excited. You guys need to be nostalgia. Yeah. TJ's unlocking nostalgia. Uh-oh. George is here. What's up, George? You getting the Pitt Omnibus, George?
No, I'm gonna wait and see what it actually looks like before I get it.
Well, you can't buy it yet. You can just sign up for the to be notified.
And what? No. Like when people actually get it in their hands.
Oh, it'll be too late then, George.
No, they'll have the next volume and they'll offer the first volume.
Yeah, but you'll have the second printing of the first volume. You won't have the exclusive first printing signed by Dale Keown and his brother Dale Keown.
Whoopie do.
The two Dales are going to sign my book.
I don't care about the shtick. I care about the art and story. I don't care if I get it as a reprint or as an original.
You seem like in a good mood today, George.
Oh, I'm in a terrific mood. I'm very curious how they are able to make this book. I'm really, really curious.
People are saying Dale needs to pay the estate to use the art again on non-trading cards.
No. He owns the artwork. He owns the character. He paid the artist. He can do whatever he wants with it. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, so this is going to be a really dumb question, George. So please forgive my ignorance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would imagine the first 4 issues, right? There's going to be obviously a new cover for this collection. Mm-hmm. But would they be able to include the original covers with the trade dress of the company that obviously they're no longer a part of, right?
Yeah, they just have to ask permission. It's no big deal.
And if they say, I mean, it's no big deal until they say no, right? Like that's.
Well, no, technically, the problem is they can't use the trade dress on the cover of the book because that would say Image Comics is doing this project. No, they can't. That can't be done. It's like when Superman goes in the public domain, you can absolutely make a Superman story inside the book, but on the cover you can't have the word Superman.
But you would be able to use the image from Superman from Action. What is it? Action Comics, whatever.
Number one,
right?
Yeah.
Number one. You would be able to use all that image except for the like DC logos and stuff. Like if I put my own logo, if I replace all the DC shit with my own logo, it's the exact same thing. But instead of saying Superman, it says Mighty Man.
Yeah, if that's the key selling feature of the book itself on the cover, the trade dress of the cover, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Morpheus says, Tony removed the context of my post, George. It's in reference to the Michael Turner trading card that was commissioned by a contract. Okay.
Yeah. Dale, as far as I understand, Dale owns the artwork. He owns the character. He paid Michael Turner. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Nice. But I'm signing up. Did you sign up at least to get notified, George?
What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? I don't have to. I'm not going to sign up and put my email address so every Tom, Dick, and Harry campaign I get notified blitzed in my email. Because there's so many loudmouths on the internet going, "Hey, Dale's book is here. It is." I go, "Okay, cool." Or I'll probably get notified on social media long before I get to look at it in my email.
Well, you know what? I have your email, so I'll sign you up for you, George. Don't worry.
You bastard. You son of a bitch. You forgazy. I spit a raspberry in your general direction.
But I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you just got here or if you heard what I said earlier, but I said that if I die, I got a whole stack of unpublished works, George, that Critical Blast can put out.
What, as ash cans?
Yeah, like like when Tupac died and they published all of his like unreleased albums and stuff.
Yeah. He died with so many unreleased songs. Oh yeah, I believe that. The guy, that rapper lived on the edge. The moment he created a new song, he put it out. He never kept a library.
I don't know. He might have.
Yeah, well, that's
higher library.
Yeah, that's what people like. That's what the marketing people like to do. It's like when Stan Lee passed away. All of a sudden, there was a influx of Stan Lee signatures. Yeah, we got the Stan Lee signature. He passed away. These are his last signatures. Speaking
of Stan Lee, did you know that Stan Lee actually ruined the origin of the Silver Surfer?
He did?
That's correct, George. As you can see, the biggest change Stan Lee made to Silver Surfer's original origin story. So, if you're unaware, like so many people are, Stan Lee did not invent the Silver Surfer. Jack Kirby actually created it. Jack Kirby was told to draw the story with Galactus. He said, you know what? That Galactus guy probably would have a herald, right? That makes sense that this giant space god would have a herald that shows up. So he created whole cloth the Silver Surfer. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what Jack Kirby did. He did all the story and art, and Stan Lee came in and put in words after it and goes, "Hey, Jack, what's this? I'm going to make some shit up here and there." Okay, and then they published it.
Sort of the same thing happened with Venom.
Yeah,
McFarlane made the Venom, and then Stan Lee was like, "Okay, now he's Eddie Brock."
Well, Jack Kirby created Silver Surfer, and he had an origin story in mind for the character. Stan Lee then fell in love with the character, and he started writing Silver Surfer comics, and so he completely changed what Jack Kirby's intention for the character was.
And what was Jack Kirby's intention?
It's a good question. That's what they ask here. What was Jack Kirby's original intention for the Silver Surfer? You must have read ahead, George.
No, I didn't. I know anything about this. I was busy putting books together.
Famously, when Kirby and Lee discussed a plot for what became Fantastic Four number 48, the first part of the Galactus trilogy, Kirby didn't mention the Silver Surfer, but when he came down to plot the issue, he felt that Galactus would have a herald, so Kirby invented the Silver Surfer. Stan Lee was quite surprised to see the pages coming in, and that there was now this silver surfing guy in the comic book. Silver Surfer comes to Earth to herald its destruction, and the Fantastic Four fight him. In the process, Surfer is knocked out and into Alicia Master's apartment. She helps him recover, and her great empathetic nature inspires the Surfer to not let his master destroy this planet. In other words, Kirby is pretty clear that the Silver Surfer is an alien being who has to learn emotional connections from Alicia. After the Surfer stands against his master to protect the Earth, Galactus punishes him by banishing him to Earth forever. The Surfer then pops up in a few more times over the next year or so, and along the way, we see that he's picking up on humanity and taking some fascinating lessons from it. Stan Lee was fascinated by this approach, and he soon grew to love writing the Silver Surfer, as it allowed him to do commentary on our culture from the perspective of an outsider. It was all good stuff. Well, as Kirby continued to plot out Fantastic Four, he began plans to reveal the Silver Surfer's origin. However, there was a snag. Stan Lee was already doing it. So they were going to reveal that the Silver Surfer was an artificial being, that he wasn't a person, that he was created whole cloth by Galactus, and that he had to learn humanity. You know how in the Stan Lee origin where he's Norrin Radd, and Norrin Radd gives up his humanity, and so it's more of a relearning, reconnecting with what you lost. Jack Kirby's idea was that it was an alien being that never had humanity, and so for the first time, it's learning humanity. So there was going to be no.
Oh, well, that explains Machine Man. Holy smokes! Jack Kirby repurposed that concept into Machine Man, and he did it way better.
Didn't he do that with the Eternals too?
Yeah. Holy smokes!
Like a pattern. He's using the same story. Let's go.
Yeah, because Jack Kirby did a storytelling of 2001: Space Odyssey, but then he snuck in his own creations in there, including Machine Man, which ended up following after that into its own story. You literally just said everything that is Machine Man right here. Holy smokes. Jack Kirby, man. What a guy. Can't use it here, he'll use it over there.
Yeah, you got to repurpose it, right? It says Jack Kirby was plotting and drawing Fantastic Four, Thor, and Captain America in 1968 when Marvel was finally allowed to expand its product line. Now that it was out from under an onerous distribution agreement that limited the amount of titles it could publish a month. So he was likely unavailable to do a new Silver Surfer series at the time. But whether he would have dropped one of those other two books or not, Stan Lee instead launched Silver Surfer into its own ongoing with artist John Buscema, instead with the Silver Surfer now becoming a pet character for Lee.
Yeah, the first issue was a real brain twister. Galactus takes the Silver Surfer to the edge of the universe. He says, I want to know what's out there. He goes, you won't be happy what you discover once you pass the edge of forever. And Silver Surfer goes through the edge of forever, ends up coming back to seeing Galactus, and he goes, I don't get it. This is a trick. No, it's not a trick. Your starting point is your end point. And basically, I'm just bullet pointing that whole book. But wow, what a brain twist.
It says, and Lee now revealed that rather than being an alien who learned humanity as Kirby intended, and for the Surfer to be basically a creation of energy, the Surfer actually used to be basically human on his own planet. Named Norrin Rad, he sacrificed his freedom to serve as Galactus' herald in exchange for Galactus sparing his planet. Now it all makes sense. Like when I read this, I was like, oh, it makes so much sense. The shift in tone and why they had to come up with this. Oh, well, Galactus like erased his memories and stuff, and then like why he's like slightly different between the Fantastic Four debut and in Silver Surfer. And Marvel just kept like fucking around with him. At one point, Zenla was still around, and then at one point, it turns out actually some other aliens came and destroyed Zenla, and then Galactus recreated it as like a giant illusion because he's like, well, the Surfer needs somewhere to go every once in a while, so I'm gonna like recreate Zenla and pretend like it exists. And then they retconned that to not be real. And then they retconned it to sort of be real. And then it was like, oh, well, Galactus, like, he was like, oh, if Surfer finds out that Zenla got destroyed, he'll think that his sacrifice was in vain, and then he'll betray me. And I'm like, that makes no sense because he's already betrayed you, like, several times by this point. Like, so. Yeah. What do you think, George? Did you like the original version better, or do you like the Stan Lee?
No, I totally dig the Machine Man origin. That's like absolute killer. I mean, there's one scene where he's at a party and everybody thinks he's wearing a mask, and this girl really digs him and all that stuff. And then as the party's winding down, she realizes that's not a mask. He's an actual robot.
You mean he's a machine, like a machine?
A machine, right? Yeah.
Salmon says, oh, yeah, that Zenla thing is really weird. I don't know what the current status is, honestly. I don't either. Like I said, they've gone back and forth. I've read it. I got issues where they say it was real, then it was not, then it was destroyed. Even the whole thing with, like, the Silver Surfer was his first herald. And then, oh, actually, it wasn't. It was another guy was his first herald. But we just never told you about it because it was a secret that Galactus kept to himself. But also, that guy doesn't have the power cosmic. That guy has some like dark energy powers. So, then he's had like, I think like 10 heralds through the course of Marvel Comics, like official within the 616 canon. It says, thus, Lee's origin for Silver Surfer is the exact opposite of Kirby's origin. So Kirby's planned origin had to be scuttled. And not only that, but he had to then plot and draw a storyline in Fantastic Four that would help set up the incoming Silver Surfer #1. Kirby would never draw the Silver Surfer in the pages of Fantastic Four again. Kirby noted in 1971, there were times at Marvel when I couldn't say anything because it would be taken away from me and put in another context, and it would be lost. All my connection with it would be severed. For instance, I created the Silver Surfer, Galactus, and an army of other characters, and now my connection with them is lost.
Yeah, it's that's exactly what happens when you work as a team, and blindly, mind you. The Marvel method is a blind system. It's not collaborative. The artist, they have a basic idea of what the story is. The artist would go out and do all the work, and the writer would come in and throw words on top of it.
That's the Marvel method.
Yeah, that's not collaborative. They're not collaborating. They're fighting each other. One guy has an idea of what the story is. Another guy has an idea what the story is. Eventually, the customer gets, the two worlds combined into the book.
Yeah, but it worked so well. Well, maybe for them it didn't work.
Not really. Work
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, it's always been a fight. I mean,
what I'm saying is, like, behind the scenes, it might have been a mess, George. But in what we were reading was gold.
Yeah, like I said, on the front end, when the customer gets the book, everybody loves it. But on the back end, the artist and the writer we're always at odds with each other. John Byrne and Chris Claremont is another one, a big one actually. John Byrne had certain concepts that he wanted to put in the X-Men, and Claremont literally wiped them away with a few words. While the page stayed the same, the concept on the page changed with Claremont's words.
Yeah, it's like I said, for us as readers, we're not privy to what's going on behind the scenes, so it just what we're getting was good. I thought most of it was good.
Well, there is one panel in, I think, in X-Men #1 that is absolutely ridiculous. I think, and let me describe it. I think everybody will know. There's a scene where Magneto has a long speech, and you see his feet, his leg. You see the huge text, and then just near the bottom of that balloon, you see everybody on the ground, like kneeling or bending down. That is the concept of the Marvel method. Jack Kirby drew it in such a way, but then the writer came in with so much text that they literally took this little small panel on a page and they shoved it with more text than they should have.
John Wong says, talk about the Marvel method having issues.
Hey, that's not bad. I like that. No, I'm going to use that joke. Hey, where's TJ?
He keeps dropping in and out. Thank you, John Wong.
Damn those vampires.
Yeah, there's storms over there, so
fuck them hoe ass roads, man.
Salmon says, I think the retcon works because he did that before Norrin betrayed him, not after his betrayal, to be fair. Well, no, because he did it, but it wasn't revealed till later. Like, why did he keep up the whole charade, right? So in the story, they basically say that after the Silver Surfer joins Galactus, goes off on his adventures, at some point, an alien race comes and completely destroys Zenla. And when I say destroys, I mean like the planet is gone. Like it's not like, oh, it just like kills all the people. Like no, they like completely destroy, blow up the whole fucking planet.
Oh, right? They didn't just transport the planet to another part of the universe?
No. So they blow up the entire planet, it's gone. And so then Galactus recreates it so that way the Surfer would have a homeworld to come back to, right? And then the Silver Surfer betrays him, he locks him on Earth. And supposedly, Galactus had been using his cosmic energy to keep this charade up. This charade was going on for years and years, even though the Surfer had betrayed him. At that point, should he have just said, fuck it? Well, at any point between him betraying Galactus, he could have just said, hey, I'll just turn my whole illusion off. And then the Surfer will just think something happened in the last couple of years, right? He'll be like, oh, shit, in the last 10 days, my planet blew up. Oh, no. Like, he won't blame me for it. He'll blame someone else, right? Like, but no, like, he just kept it up until, like, Marvel was like, oh, by the way, that the planet's not real. Yeah. So it was the way they retconned it was stupid. Now, the same thing with the way they retconned 2 heralds before Silver Surfer. There's the Fallen one, and then there's an unknown, unnamed herald that existed in between the Fallen one and Silver Surfer, which makes no sense because if there was another herald, what happened to it? Why did the Surfer exist? Right? Like the whole point of Galactus was that he was going indiscriminately around the galaxy, the universe, destroying planets, and then the Surfer gave up his humanity to guide him to planets, right? And that was like it's supposed to be like a change in the whole like cosmic order of things. And then they just kind of said, oh, no, actually, we lied to you. And that's been going like, why did any of the alien races that knew about Galactus and about his coming and all that and the Herald, why did they know like, oh, wait a minute, that's a different Herald. That's not the same one from last week. Like, just makes no sense.
Yeah, they needed a liaison between departments to actually figure all that shit out. Yeah,
no, I don't think it's liaisons. I think in the 90s and even 2000s, even now, they think that like, oh, if we just change something, it'll be shocking. Oh my God, did you know that actually Tony Stark fiddled with the gamma bomb, and that's why the Hulk was created? And you go, that's retarded. Why would you do that? That's not shocking. That doesn't like, oh my God, I'm now interested in Marvel Comics more. I'm just like, that's retarded. And why did you do that? Like that added nothing to the characters. That added nothing to the comics, right? That's a real thing, though, George. Did you know that?
Seriously?
Yeah. There's a series called Original Sin, where supposedly
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, in the series, the Watcher's eyes get stolen, and supposedly the Watcher's it's basically his eyes are like hard drives, and they have everything he's ever seen are still stuck in his eyes somehow. And so all the secrets from the Marvel Universe are on full display, and that's where you learn that Nick Fury's actually never been around. You think that you've been talking to Nick Fury, it's always been LMDs, and that Nick Fury's actually been in space killing aliens so they wouldn't invade Earth, because he's the quote-unquote man on the wall. And also, like, they tell you all these other things that have been happening that you never knew. Like, oh, you didn't know that Tony Stark messed with the gamma bomb because he thought Bruce Banner was building a bomb that was going to destroy, like, if he left it alone, it was going to, like, destroy the entire state of Arizona or whatever. So he went and fiddled with it to make it less destructive. And that fiddling with it is what caused the smaller explosion that exposed Bruce to all the radiation, and that's why he turned into the Hulk.
It's all Tony's fault.
Yeah. Like if Tony didn't fiddle with it, the bomb would have just exploded and killed Bruce Banner and everybody, but there'd be no Hulk. And so that's why all these years secretly Tony's been holding in this guilt over, like, he created the Hulk and he's responsible for the Hulk's actions, despite never telling Bruce Banner that, letting Bruce Banner just wallow
never
in
addressing the matter for years and
years, right?
Oh, maybe he had amnesia. He got hit over the head while he was drunk. Selective amnesia. There you go.
I forgot what the FF one was. It was either something that caused a rift between Thing and Johnny or Thing and Reed. I think it was that Reed could always cure the Thing or something like that, but he just chose not to.
The Thing could always be cured. He could change to Ben Grimm. But he thinks that Elisa loves him as the Thing, so that's why he never transformed.
Yeah, but that's been retconned in like so many different ways. But again, like in the there's an issue where the sun causes him to turn into Ben Grimm, but then they retconned it and said no, it was actually Doctor Strange that was there, but no one knew Doctor Strange was there, casting a spell on him. All right, so here are the secrets from Original Sin. Captain America, he was mind wiped by the Illuminati. So apparently Captain America knew about the Illuminati, but they wiped his mind in order to keep their secrets from him. Right. So the whole thing with Tony Stark fiddling with the bomb, but also he was drunk when he did it. So, Thor found out that there was a 10th realm and that he had a sister. Now that's when they brought what's her name over.
Hela?
No. The other chick. The chick.
Hela.
Angela.
Angela. Yeah. Oh.
Because she comes from heaven. There's a 10th realm. It's heaven. And remember, she's like another character. She comes from a different...
she came from the Neil Gaiman universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
She used to be part of Spawn, too. Neil Gaiman creation.
Yeah, that was a bullshit lawsuit, man.
True.
So then they brought her over. The thing that the Human Torch had ruined an opportunity to turn them back to normal permanently. Okay, that was what the things won. The whole thing with Spider-Man was that Cindy Moon also got bit by the same spider, and she had spider powers. Apparently, J. Jonah Jameson wrote an early article about how great Spider-Man was, and then he fired an employee for reading it because he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed that he was simping. Luke Cage, the existence of a mighty Avengers team in the 70s led by his father. Apparently, Luke Cage's father was on the Avengers in the 70s, guys.
He was? What was he, Giant Man?
I have no idea, but that's what it says. Okay, so apparently...
probably the stationary engineer of the mansion?
I don't know. I think they just wanted the retcon that there was a Black Avengers member in the 70s. Apparently, Daredevil's mom...
Brother Voodoo?
No. Daredevil's mom left because Jack was apparently an abusive husband. So battling Jack Murdock, the guy that Matt Murdock looked up to, the guy that,
Oh, wow. The whole reason why he's the Daredevil to begin with. Wow. Okay.
The guy that gave him his morals and his upstanding, his education and everything, made sure that he was a good person. Oh, psych! He was actually slapping his wife around, guys. I swear to God, Marvel just want to ruin all the male role models, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he was slapping the wife around because he was under mind control.
There you go. The plot twist.
Apparently, Deadpool's daughter was still alive. Deadpool killed his own parents, apparently. The invaders apparently had the opportunity to prevent the atom bomb from being dropped in Hiroshima. It says, in reality, the bombing on Hiroshima was the military's response to the invaders refusing to cause a tsunami to defeat Japan's naval fleet, which would have killed thousands of innocents in islands nearby. The invaders were there during World War II. The whole idea that let's hold them responsible for the bombing of Hiroshima is kind of retarded, right?
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. They're irresponsible, hotheads going off plan, off orders. Sure.
No. It says in this comic, apparently the government went to Namor and them and said, "Hey, if you just cause a tidal wave, you can just kill all the Japanese, the Navy. You could just, basically sink the Navy in one go." And they go, "Yeah, but it would just kill a bunch of innocent people on the nearby islands." And they go, "Okay, never mind. We'll just drop a bomb on Hiroshima."
Oh, Sandman is saying Frank Miller was the one who made Jack abusive.
Oof.
And then they're retconning that. He says, keep reading.
You're misreading it, Tony. That was a previous retcon. Original Sin changed it. Okay, hold on. Let me scroll back up.
Let's see that again. Yeah.
Says Daredevil that his mother Maggie left because Jack was apparently actually an abusive husband. In reality, Matt's mother left because she had suffered from postpartum depression, and her paranoia made her believe Matt was there to tear her and Jack apart. The scuffle Matt saw in the visions he thought was a result of Jack being abusive was actually a result of Maggie trying to assault baby Matt under the influence of said paranoia. Okay. That's what happens when you only read the headline, right?
There it is. Yep.
But even that's
wait a minute.
Doesn't make no sense.
She suffered from autoerotic asphyxiation?
Postpartum depression.
Oh, postpartum depression. It's one of those messed up, things.
Howard the Duck, that he was born the potentially smartest creature on his homeworld. Yeah, a lot of these are.
Wait a minute,
Howard.
Wait, hold a second. Howard the Duck's homeworld is basically idiocracy. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that. That's not bad.
So, I mean, some of them were stupid. Some of them were minor characters. Who cares? Deathlock still exists. Howard the Duck is really smart.
Oh, of course he is. I mean, he's got what's her name? Forgot the chick's
Darcy
name.
Lewis?
No. It's in the comics.
I have no idea. But you know what? You know what's better than a duck man? A pig man. Pig man number 1. Guys, Bosch Fosting is going to close this out soon. He's been talking about, I think, in the next couple of days, he's going to end it. Even though it says storefront, right? He did say he's going to bring it to an end. So if you haven't got it, I got mine way back in February. I put my order in. So you getting Pigman, George?
No.
What do you mean, nah? You want the jihadis to win? Is that what you're saying? You support the bombing of 9/11?
Nah. What? Do you want me to go further than one-word answers?
Yeah. I'm just curious. Why? You're not interested in the story?
Not interested in the whole concept.
You're lost, George. I think it looks good. I think the art looks good. I think it's an interesting meta story within a story.
Frank Miller did the same thing, and then he had.
But he did it half-assed.
Yeah, well, he had to change it from Batman to whatever it was.
Look at that. Available now in front of my comic.
Oh, by the way, the only proof that the planes actually hit the towers is in the news footage, but not in the eyewitness or the individual people who are taking videos.
Okay. So anyway, guys, get Pigman #1, $25 plus shipping. I like this cover here. I like this. We got Pigman and Super Jihad, and then of course the two brothers that represent the two different ideologies: the sane Christian ideology and the insane Islam ideology. This 9/11 one is also pretty nice. I like that. Two towers standing there. Where were you on 9/11, by the way, George?
I was working at Nelvana. I was behind the computer trying to figure out the work for the day, and somebody said, "America's under attack." I go, and then we all crowd around the marketing, the VP's marketing. Was it 12-inch TV? And it was CNN, and then went back to the computer to log on to the internet and watch CNN and streaming their news, and it couldn't. The traffic was too much. CNN had just one feed, and it was a raw feed of their news. Nothing, no dressing, no graphics, nothing. Just a little square. I think it was like 240 by 180. And you're watching the news feed because that's how much the traffic was, the internet traffic. It was just choking everything. So the
56K says I was putting on my Air Force Ones when I heard the news and a fresh white tee. So like I said, I just walked down the stairs, went to my kitchen. I was heading out. I was going to school, and my mom was watching the news. She was watching.
Oh yeah. You didn't say anything like yeah, honey, I'm gonna be coming home, just at the World Trade Center having a meeting, no big deal.
No, not even from New York, George.
Not even from New York. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I remember seeing it. My mom's like, "Oh my God, they crashed! A plane crashed into the World Trade Center." I was like, "What?" And she's watching the news, and we're watching it, and it's one of the the news replayed it, and they pan back. They go, "Okay, we're live on location," and suddenly a second plane. It's like, oh my God! It was insane.
Yeah, the only footage of the planes hitting the World Trade Center was from the news, from the individual videos, people's cameras, and all that stuff. None of that. They only saw explosions.
I remember me and the boys wondering if we were going to bring back the draft. It's crazy. Midnight in Exile says, I had a friend that got trapped in New York City for like 4 days. Oof. All I know is it was horrible. Horrible. And, you know, the afterward, like, it was one of those weird moments, right? Because, like, I remember hearing about all the World War II propaganda and seeing this stuff and reading the comics and, you know, rah, rah, America. And then this happened and it was like, nothing, right? There was a little rah rah America, but it was like no target, I guess. There was like no country we can go, hey, let's go invade Iraq. It was just like there's just terrorists out there, just random people.
Well, they never discovered any airplane debris at the World Trade Center for both towers, but they did discover, you know, a passport that survived, you know, melted metal and all that stuff.
El Rufian says I could literally see the smoke from the roof in the Bronx. George is trying to downplay 9/11. He's trying to say that there was no planes, that it was all fake, computer generated. You know, they timed it perfectly. So the explosions that George Bush personally planted inside the World Trade Center.
Well, technically it's impossible for a building to fall perfectly on its down its own footprint. If it was hit by a plane or any object, it's impossible. The physics they don't work.
You know, that's funny you say that, George. It's funny you say that because a couple of weeks ago I had asked Grok a very simple question, George. You know what I asked Grok?
Where can you find a date?
No, I said a simple question. I didn't say a hard question. I asked Grok a very simple question. I said, Grok, what would be the likely damage if 2,800 pounds of steel fell 10 feet onto a person's hand? The hand was on top of a truck. The truck shocks went down, so the bundle of steel, bounced off of the hand. So the contact was minimum contact. I described there were 12-inch rods, 12-inch diameter, 3 feet long, a bundle of that. What would be the damage? You know what Grok told me, George?
Barely a scratch.
Grok said you would have severe damage in your hand, internal bleeding, broken bones. Your hand would be shattered in several places. Even despite the minimum contact, even despite the fact that it bounced off due to the shocks of the truck, there would be permanent nerve damage, permanent internal damage, and the hand would most likely never be able to be used again. That's what Grok told me.
Just a flesh wound.
Right. And so then I said, Grok, what would happen? What's the likelihood that happened? The steel falls, hits the hand, all the thing, except the only injury suffered would be a small fracture on the wrist, a broken finger, and a fracture on the other finger, right? Grok told me less than 1%, that it would be a damn near improbability. I said, furthermore, what if the hand, after 6 months, had full function, no nerve damage, no internal bleeding, none of that? And Grok still said that it would be a damn miracle. Grok, this is Grok. It is calculating the percentage chance of this happening. They said a damn miracle. And you know what, George? That's exactly what happened to me. A miracle. So if my hand can survive miraculously a injury that Grok says that it would completely fuck me up, it is not hard to believe that the physics might miraculously cause a building to collapse in on itself due to being hit by a giant fucking plane that exploded.
Yeah, but see, you're comparing apples to oranges. You're talking about a small impact zone compared to hundreds of floors upon thousands of variables that would have to all work in perfect
Right.
sync.
A
in
miracle would
synchronicity.
have to happen. And so a miracle
That's
happened.
impossible. That's impossible.
No, it's not impossible.
It is.
Improbable, unlikely, but not impossible.
Impossible. There's no way. It's
Okay,
it's as impossible as the moon constantly facing the earth.
see, if I understand the question right, that hand would be liquefied.
Yeah, but see, there's the thing about the human body. What you probably experienced, I've experienced in the past, is that when the machine came down on you, your
It wasn't a machine, George. It was
What
a
was
bundle of steel.
Okay, bundle of steel came down on you. Your hand, became what do you call it? Like a soft pillow.
my hand lessened the impact.
It did.
I don't think so.
It did.
George, you understand? So the plane hits. So there would be an impact, right? So that impact would cause a shift in the building, right? Then the explosion would cause, shockwaves. So shockwaves from the explosion would then also damage. It's not just like there was a fire. It was like a series of things that happened. It wasn't just a building got hit by a big object and then it collapsed. Like it got hit by a big object, it exploded. There was shockwaves. There was a fire. There was all kind of other things.
Right.
Several things happened. It wasn't just one. It wasn't like the plane hit it and then the building immediately collapsed.
All right. Okay. The most experienced fireman was the first to go to the floor where the plane impacted. His last words before the whole place came down, he says, "It's just a couple of fires, no problem. We'll take care of it."
What does that have to do with anything?
It's all bullshit, and you fell.
So
for
just because some guy made a mistake and went, it's just a couple of fires.
No.
No one would
It's all connected. It's all
according to
connected.
you, no one with experience has ever made a mistake, has never miscalculated, has never said,
that's
going to be fine, and then it wasn't.
You're focused on one thing.
You brought that up. I'm trying to discredit your witness. I'm trying to say that your witness is wrong.
You can't. I'm giving you a witness plus the impossibility of it falling.
It's not impossible. We already established it's not impossible.
No,
unlikely,
it's impossible.
Improbable.
You're comparing apples to oranges.
George,
if you want to compare apples
did
to apples regarding falling
George,
on its own footprint, then you find a building that did fall on
the
its
building
own
do
footprint.
it? Did the building do it?
What do you mean? Did the building?
Did the building fall on its own footprint?
It did, and that's impossible
Okay.
unless
hold on,
demolition.
George, stop.
No, I'm throwing.
No, stop.
You can't.
Let
I'm
someone
not giving.
finish.
I'm not going to let you take the narrative away from me.
There's no narrative, George.
Yeah, you're trying to create a narrative over me.
Got a few.
Yeah, we've established that the building did collapse. We're just arguing whether or not it was because of the plane or something else, right? So we've established that it did happen. Correct?
It was controlled demolition.
No. I'm not asking you. Did the building fall down? Yes or no?
Yes, because
so we've agreed. We've agreed that the building has fallen down.
Yeah, controlled demolition.
Okay, so how would a controlled demolition work? You'd have to explode certain parts of the building, right? That's how controlled demolition works.
They came in.
Correct or incorrect, George?
They came in prior to.
You're not listening, George.
Well, you asked me now, and I'm giving you the answer. No, you're trying to control the narrative.
No, I'm not trying to control the narrative. I'm trying to ask you a question. A controlled demolition means that explosions have to happen in a certain order, in a certain way, in order for the building to collapse in a certain way. Correct? That's it. It's a yes or no.
If you look at the multiple footage of the collapse, you'll see.
It's just a simple yes or no.
No, it's not a simple yes, because
yes, a simple yes or no. Controlled demolition works in a very certain way. Correct?
It's
yes
not
or
simple.
no hibbity-jibbity.
It's not hibbity-jibbity.
It is hibbity-jibbity because I'm not asking you to expound on other things. I'm just saying I'm trying to establish what you're saying. You're saying a controlled demolition. Okay. Controlled demolition has to be done a certain way. That's all I'm asking. You just say, okay.
Continue.
Right? So at no point did the plane hitting the building could not simulate controlled demolition with the explosion, the fire, and the
Impossible. Impossible.
impact. Why is it impossible?
Because the point of impact where the plane was, it could not actually cause damage lower in the building. There was explosions.
So the explosion.
There was explosions in the building prior to the collapse.
Okay. Forget all that.
No, what are you talking about? All that?
Yeah. No,
That's
we're forgetting all that. We're forgetting
That's
that.
bullshit. You're throwing away my key thesis.
No.
You are.
The argument is whether George
in the building prior to the.
Again, George, you're not listening. You're talking. You have to listen. So we're arguing whether or not a plane could cause an explosion from the impact that would mimic controlled demolition. We're not arguing whether there was other explosions. We're not arguing whether people were seen coming in or out of the building. None of that. I'm just asking, in order for it to have a controlled demolition, it has to have certain factors. That's it. You said yes. Now I'm saying, could not a plane smashing into the building mimic those certain factors?
No, the superstructure of the building itself would not allow that.
Yeah, it didn't need to be destroyed completely to pull the "We Are at War." Yeah, so why would they have controlled demolition, George?
What do you mean?
I mean, just the plane hitting into the building would have been enough for us to go. Even if the building didn't collapse, we were like, yeah, they fucking smashed their plane into a building. Let's go.
It's a whole fucking airplane, yeah.
Yeah, it's an airplane, yeah. But the only proof that that an airplane hit the building is
so. Are you saying that there was no airplanes?
No, you're not listening to me. The only
so
proof,
were there airplanes? Did airplanes hit the building? Yes or no?
Why are you interrupting?
Yes or no? Airplanes hit the building?
I said the only proof.
That's not. Yeah. You're saying the only proof was on the news and no eyewitness. I'm asking you if you believe. Do you believe planes hit a building?
You don't want me to interrupt you. Why are you interrupting?
It's a very simple.
No. See, it's two ways, isn't it? You say something, I say something. You interrupt. That's poor debate, isn't it?
I'm not trying to debate.
Well, you are.
Because do you believe that
you're challenging what I'm saying. That's a debate.
Do you think that planes actually hit the building?
The only evidence that a plane hit the building is in the news footage, not in.
That's really not a yes or no, George. Do you think that planes hit the building? Yes or no?
I told you the only evidence.
No. That's not a yes or no.
No at that point.
I do not. No, I don't believe planes hit the building. Yes, I believe planes hit the building. That's it. That's all I want to know. I don't care about footage. I don't care about people's eyewitness statements.
No. See, you're crafting the narrative. You're crafting the narrative.
There's no narrative. I'm asking you a legitimate question. Do you believe that planes hit the Twin Towers? Yes or no?
You're crafting a narrative.
Do you or do you not believe that planes hit the Twin Towers?
I don't know. All I know is that evidence of an airplane
you don't know?
Building. No, see, you want to craft a narrative around what I'm saying. I'm not giving it to you.
I don't want to. I'm trying to understand you, George. I'm literally just trying to understand
you're struggling
whether or not you believe this. No, like if you asked me if there was really a Jesus, I'd say yes. I believe there was a Jesus. I believe that he existed. I believe that he was crucified on the cross. I don't care about any evidence. I don't care about what anyone says or eyewitnesses. I believe that stuff.
Yeah, it's all apples to oranges.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
do you believe or do you not believe?
You continue. No, see, you continue to. Oh, by the way, Jesus. Yeah, I believe. By the way, Jesus and the Twin Towers. You're comparing apples to oranges. Again, you're constantly changing the goalpost. You can't even focus on one thing, and then you have to interrupt me to try to craft a narrative over what I'm saying. You're a sloppy debater. You're very sloppy.
I'm not trying to debate you. I'm literally just trying to understand.
This is a debate. What do you think this is?
It's a show about comic books where somehow we've talked about the Twin Towers 2 weeks in a row.
Well, you know, when Marvel did that Spider-Man issue, Spider-Man Black, I think it was, and the whole thing was the Twin Towers, and you had all these villains at the ground level trying to keep peace. That was bullshit.
Kick George permanently, yeah. George survived Y2K. He'll survive this. All I know is I saw planes hitting the building. I believe planes.
Okay, where'd you see them? Did you see them on the news?
I seen them on home video. from
Did you see
eyewitness
it?
reports.
Did you see him in the news? Did you see
Yeah.
the plane strike the building on the news channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
Did you see
everyone else.
Did you see the plane hit the building from personal video?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. No, what do you know I didn't? You can't tell me what I did or didn't see.
It doesn't exist.
George, it almost sounds like you're trying to say that you don't believe planes hit the building, but you're too pussy to actually say that.
I'm just saying it does. There's no home video or personal video that exists of the planes hitting the buildings. It doesn't. They don't exist. No one's ever actually bothered to ask that question. All you see is the same footage, and you go like, "Wait a minute, this none of this makes any sense." This is New York City. This is New York fucking City. How many millions of people are in New York City? No, seriously, answer that question. How many people are in New York City? You think one or two of the millions of people in New York City will pull out their phone and start taking video and post it on their social media?
George?
Yeah, let that sink in.
On their social media, I don't think social media was that big. But what's this, George?
Yeah, that's news footage.
That's not news footage. That's them live.
That's news footage. There was a camera. There was a news guy there. That one's a good one.
No doubt, a lot of activity.
That
right
particular
now.
footage.
This right here is the helicopter footage.
Hold on a second. No. That last footage, if you scrub through it, you'll see that the plane, the wing, actually fades over the building. It's like a transparent effect over the building as it goes into impact.
So again, George the Canadian is telling us that 9/11 didn't happen.
Watch. Pause. Can you pause that? Damn it! What the hell? Go back to that first footage.
George, I don't agree with your denial of 9/11.
It's not. It's a very simple question. Why is the only footage of the plane
I just showed you footage. There's literally 50 different footages on that video.
That wasn't personal footage. That was actually a news channel. That was a news channel footage.
Big explosion equals sound travels far. You know, I just wanted to share Pigman.
No,
I didn't want to get into a debate with someone. You're a flat earther who doesn't believe in 9/11. I get it.
Flat earther. Oh my God! Did you know architects they don't account for the Earth's curvature when they do make buildings and stuff and roads? Why? I mean, what the hell?
Are you serious right now, George?
I mean, look, every airplane, every pilot, it does not tip their nose down when they're flying a plane to account for the curvature of the Earth. Why? What the hell?
Are you serious?
I'm just telling you what architects. You know, they put their little T-square and the little laser pointer and all that stuff.
George, how big is the Earth? How big is the Earth?
I have no idea, but I'm suspecting it's a lot bigger.
What is the angle of the curvature of the Earth?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. It's about every mile. There's 8 inches for every mile. I think it's 8 inches or 8 centimeters for every mile. And then when you hit 20 miles,
it's definitely not 8 inches or 8 centimeters. The Earth is so fucking huge.
No. There's an actual mathemaatical formula. You can ask Grok yourself, and he'll tell you.
Yeah, it's not what you just said. Eight inches.
You're taking it literally. I'm just taking it off my head. It's a formula. It's
right. It is something. A formula. It is so insignificant, is what I'm saying, George. Like,
it's not insignificant. It's not insignificant because. No, actually, grok it right now, and you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy because when grok tells you that the curvature you're supposed to have like X number of feet after 20 miles, 10, 20 miles in the curvature, you can't see that, right? Because of the curvature, the dip, whatever you want to call it. Then why is it when architects who are designing roads, buildings and all that shit that are very long and whatnot, they don't account for the curvature?
Why would... So roads, which are flat, which go on top of the earth, you want them to...
Yeah, they have to account for the curvature.
Why would they have to account for the curvature?
Otherwise, they'd be building straight into orbit. As you further go down that road, if you're not accounting for the curvature, that road would actually look more like a ramp heading towards the orbit.
George, here's what I want you to do, George. I want you to get a ball. No, listen. It's very simple. Very simple.
You can do it right now, but you won't do it because you know I'm right.
I did do it, George. Get a ball.
Okay, what are the numbers? Tell us, Tony. What are the numbers?
You're doing it
what
again.
Are the numbers,
George, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. Okay, just get a ball. Okay, and get a roller. Get a paint roller, and then paint roll around the ball. You'll notice that your hand is not going to just go off of the ball. You're just going to follow it. That's how roads work, George, because they're on the earth, and so they're always going to be on the earth, touching it. So they don't have to. You pour the fucking road down, and then you just smash it with a fucking flattener.
That's not how it works. That's not.
That's exactly how it works. Have you never seen a road being fucking?
I'm talking about architects who map out the construction.
Right.
They don't account for the curvature.
You don't need to.
You have to, absolutely. What's the formula? What did Grok say?
The formula for the curvature of the Earth, according to Grok, is using R 6,371 kilometers. The Gaussian curvature is K equals 1/6.
You're trying to bury it in hibbity-jibbity numbers. Ask Grok, what is the curvature for every mile? What is the dip for every mile?
Here's the curvature.
What is it? What's the number? I can't see it. That's too small. It's like stamp size on my hand. Sorry. What's the number? Every mile.
The curvature becomes noticeable over large distances. For example, ships appear bottom first as they sail away due to the curvature obscuring their lower parts.
Right. But for every mile, what's the dip?
What's the dip for every mile? Jesus Christ. How did we get here, George? The dip refers to the vertical drop in the Earth's surface due to the curvature over a given distance. For a spherical Earth, the approximate drop over a distance can be calculated using the formula H equals D squared over 2R.
Yeah, what's the number? What's the final statement?
For a distance of 1 mile, calculations, since 1 foot equals 12 inches, answer, the Earth's surface drops approximately 8 inches per mile.
8 inches. Boom. And what I said at the start, 8 inches. So 20 miles. What's 20 times 8? What is that?
20 times 8 is 160.
160. So 160 divided by 12, how many feet would that be?
Why do you want me to do math? Do the math on your own or what?
I can't because I'm on a freaking little phone thingy. Everything's stamp size. If I leave the window, I get kicked out of the whole thing. What's 160 divided by 12?
You really can't do that in your head.
No, I don't do math in my head.
It's like 13 and something, some change.
Okay. So let's just say 13 feet. So 13 feet. They have to. They're doing these long roads, straight long roads, and all that stuff, and they're not accounting for the Earth's curvature. They just do straight. Why? Why is the architects doing this? Huh? They have to account for the curvature of the Earth. 20 miles, 13 feet. 10 miles is 7 feet.
Hold on, George. You want me to answer the question, and then you just keep talking. You got to ask a question and then wait for an answer.
Well, That's how this works. Yes, I know, but I didn't finish my statement.
Why
You're interrupted again.
I'm going to tell you why. Because, again, they're not making roads that go straight into the fucking space. they're making roads, and the roads touching the earth, which is the thing that our feet are on. Do you have to adjust? Do you every mile? Do you go down? Do you feel like the earth goes down 8 inches every mile you walk, George? Or is your foot just naturally on the earth?
Well,
the whole time.
You're talking about the density. My density is greater than the atmosphere, which actually pushes me down towards the earth.
George has never seen a hill. Yeah, that there's hills and stuff also, right?
Yeah, but hold on a sec. But you still are eluding away from what I said. Why is it that architects use a laser pointer straight from point A to point B, or the starting point of the road to the ending point of the road, without calculating the curvature of the earth? Because that's significant. Hold
on, George.
Yeah.
You asked the question.
Yeah.
Okay. I do not know any architects. I don't know what you're saying is true. Do you know any architects? Have you asked them how they build roads?
Yes.
What's the name of the architect you know, so we could verify this?
I'm not going to give you the guy's name. I actually
you've never talked to an architect and asked them how they build roads.
No, I've actually asked because when I came across this whole flat Earth bullshit.
How do you build a road? You go, I want a road from here to there. It's got to go straight, and then you go, okay, put the fucking gravel down and then roll over it, and it makes a fucking road.
All right, okay. Let me ask you this: the Panama Canal.
Look at Midnight says, I literally work in construction. George is being stupid.
The Panama, construction. It's not a road. It's a very small distance that you're working on. I'm talking about architects who work designing great distances. There's a big difference. Or the Panama Canal. Why isn't the Panama Canal on a curvature? Why is it straight?
Look. So someone asked Grok. They said, I agree with George on 9/11, but this N-word is kind of stupid. And so, says, do architects account for the curvature of the earth in their designs? Yes, architects and engineers account for the earth's curvature in their designs, but it depends on the scale of the project. For most standard buildings, such as a house or skyscrapers, with footprints or heights under a mile, the curvature is negligible, i.e., a drop of less than 8 inches over a mile, and typically doesn't require adjustments. However, for large-scale projects, it becomes significant. Bridges and tunnels, structures like the Varanza Narrows Bridge, include slight curvatures to compensate for the 1.6-inch drop due to curvature. So you're wrong, George. You don't even know how fucking roads are made.
I didn't say bridges.
It says bridges.
You're changing the goalpost again.
Canals and railroads, the Suez Canal and the
I didn't say
gradual slopes or leveling.
I didn't say railroads.
Isn't a railroad just a fucking road with rails?
No. A railroad is
it's literally called a railroad. It's a road with rails, George.
No, see, a railroad actually moves along the curvature of the surface.
Anyway, we're going to waste all this time arguing with George over stupid stuff when we could be talking about really important things. Like comics come to Steam platform with Inky Pen, starting with Blank Mirror. Are you excited to get digital comics on Steam, George?
Wait, Steam as in the game platform?
Yes.
Really? That's fucking extraordinary. What format do they come in?
Digital.
This not. Yeah, well, duh. This not going to be another Comicsology?
The joke, George.
No, this is not going to be another Comicsology.
I don't know. I've never heard of Inky Pen.
It sounds like another.
It says comics come to Steam. Yeah, you said that like 8 times, George. You just keep repeating that. Is George real?
I'm just trying to,
George.
I'm just trying to keep the goalposts, right there. Comicsology bullshit.
What was wrong with Comicsology?
Well, they said everything's great. The whole system works. People are making bank and all that stuff. And then Amazon buys it, and they said, no, don't worry about it. If the owners of Comicsology said, if anything goes south with Amazon, we have a foolproof method to to ditch the wholesale thing and whatnot. That was all bullshit. Amazon bought it and they just rolled it into Kindle, and people are not happy with the system that Amazon has now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so offering digital comics inside another digital platform, it's
not going anywhere, George. So
I know Steam's not going anywhere. So did a whole bunch of other platforms who are offering digital comics. Didn't go anywhere. Oh no, they all disappeared.
Okay. Anyway, comics come to Steam gaming platform with Inky Pen, starting with Black Mirror from Twisted Comics. Inky Pen, a comic book all-you-can-eat subscription service best known for being available on the Nintendo Switch, though not on the Switch 2, will now be available on PC and Mac at Gaming Systems Steam. The new reading platform on Steam will also give comic books a new 150 million person audience, and the tie-up between gaming and comic book reading may be easier going forward. Hopefully, Dark Horse and Titan Comics are paying attention. But rather than those publishers, Inky Pen will begin with a sneak peek of the first 20 pages of the upcoming official Black Mirror graphic novel adaptation of USS Callister, written by Charlie Brooker and published by Twisted Comics, and the first title to launch on Inky Pen on Steam. The exclusive preview scripted by Neil Gibson and Silvano Beltramo marks the launch of Black Mirror Comics and begins a long-term partnership with Inky Pen, which will see the graphic novels featured on gaming platforms. What?
That's going to be a problem. I don't think it's going to succeed. People are on that platform to play games, not to read books. They're hoping maybe a percentage, maybe 1%. I would hazard a guess that they're hoping 1% of the audience would actually be a customer. It's an extraordinary number, obviously, but I can't see this going that any further. Why? A couple of reasons. People are there to play video fucking games. It's people are there to shoot stuff, race cars, discover whole worlds and all that stuff. Play these 3D puzzle game systems within a game and all that stuff. Buy themselves. What do you call these? Swords and shields and coins and dragons and whatnot and spaceships. You think people came to that platform to fucking read a comic, a static image? Holy smokes! This is an extraordinary reach. I don't see this being a success.
You don't see this taking off?
I see them maybe trying to capture 1% of the audience, if that. But I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean,
I got nephew and niece who have access to an iPad. And friends and families, their kids. They said, "Hey, you want to read this book? You want to check this book?" Nope, nothing. If it's not a video, and if it's not a video game, they're not touching it. And this is the generation that's growing up now.
I agree with you, George. I'm not saying that. I'm not going, oh my God, this is going to like completely change comic books.
No, I'm
but
not
it
saying
is
it's going to change.
Right?
It's of course it's an attempt, but make it a tangible effort. Make it something that makes sense.
Well, Black Mirror is a huge property. People love it. When they find out, obviously, Netflix and everything's going to put all their promotional behind it, right? So Netflix is going to definitely be like, hey, you don't forget you can get the Black Mirror on Inky Pen or whatever the hell it's called, and that's on Steam. People are going to see that and go, oh, Steam's got this thing. Maybe I'll check it out. I think it's, again, I'm not saying it's going to change the comic book industry, but hey, they're going out there and saying, hey, you know what? We need to figure out a way to get people interested. There's 16 million people on Steam browsing games. George, you don't realize this because you're not a gamer, but literally people are shitting out games. And then other people are going, oh, this is stupid. Let's buy it. Let's buy it for 99 cents and play it on Steam.
I got Steam. I also have a Nintendo Switch too. You know, it's
Yeah, but you don't understand it. You're just an old man with a Switch. I'm saying like you're not like hip with the kids. I think
like I'm browsing and say, hey, this game looks pretty cool. I'll load it up. You know, it's only a couple of bucks. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this might.
It doesn't make sense. Kids today they don't like to read.
Okay, George, you keep saying that. Okay, so how do we make kids read? If you're going, hey, this company, we're going to go into the. Hold on, George, you're really getting on the nerves. But this company's going, hey, we're going to go into the place with 60 million people that have active eyes on this platform to put our comic books and other people's comic books on there. Yeah. I think that's a good attempt. I think they're making a smart move.
It's going to be a failed attempt. I'll tell you why. Because they're not going after the right audience. They're not going after the parents of the children. They're going after the children. It's bullshit. The children are going to.
Okay, so how do you go after the parents?
Well, it's definitely not in this angle. From this.
Okay,
angle.
But how would you? So I'm asking.
Well, I don't know. I haven't put my head around it, but this angle here doesn't work. I've seen this angle before in multiple ways, multiple systems and stuff like that. So, you have a book on Kickstarter, or you have a product on Kickstarter, and you move and you put it on Indiegogo. The audience will not follow it. You have a book. Marvel did it really well in the 80s, and how did they capture the audience?
This isn't like.
No, I'm telling you that the strategy Marvel used in the 80s. Yeah, I'm telling you what I would do. Give me a moment to stop interrupting. I can't.
Well, you never get to it. You just ramble. No, I'm just rambling on.
No, I'm not rambling on. You just don't like the fact that I'm actually bringing what I call evidence to what I'm about to say. Marvel did it really well in the 80s.
The problem is, you sound like a interrupting. You don't start with the premise. You have to start with the premise.
I am.
No. In the evidence.
Marvel did it really well in the 80s. They actually went after the audience in a commercial. That commercial captured not only the kids but also the parents. It said, "Hey, G.I. Joe, you're gonna love this. G.I. Joe, you're gonna love this cartoon. Get the comic book." Hey, that worked. That worked really well. They could do that same thing today, but they won't. Why?
No one watches commercials.
Right. What is the
so your answer? The solution is not to do the thing that's not going to work because
no one's watching commercials. What are they watching?
YouTube, TikTok.
Right. Who is primarily on YouTube and TikTok? Influencers. Why don't they go after the influencers to tell it to the kids and tell it to the parents?
Parents are not. Do you think parents are on fucking TikTok and
you know, an influencer is an influencer. Whether it's
okay. Let me ask you this question, George. Hold on. Slow down. How many you watch YouTube a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I also watch YouTube a lot. Do you ever actually watch the ads when the influencers say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this product read, this ad read"?
Have you
ever bought a product?
Hold on. Let me answer that. Sometimes you're stuck there until you can hit skip, and sometimes when the influencer is actually bearing it within their video. So they start their video and they're talking about whatever they're talking about. And they said, "Oh, by the way, hey, try our supplements, or try our new VPN and all that stuff." And then it's 15 seconds later, they continue with their video. You really don't have these.
George,
go ahead.
You're getting very excitable. How many products have you bought that influencers on YouTube have recommended to you?
Nothing that interests me. If they were talking about comic books, I would actually sit there and watch the whole thing from end to end. But they were not talking about comics. They're talking about coffee, and they're talking about VPN, and they're talking about what else?
Okay, George, you're really excitable today. Did you have a lot of caffeine?
No, I'm just pointing out my end goal here is to point out that you're a sloppy debater. You're constantly interrupting.
I'm not debating.
You're constantly change the goalpost, and
It's not a debate, George.
No, it is a debate. You can't deny it.
Okay, so this isn't a debate, and I don't know why George is treating every interaction like a debate today, but apparently he's had way too much caffeine. Guys, it's almost 2 hours. George steamrolled the whole show, and I see that most of us have left. So if you're watching this on the replay, I apologize. I should have known better than to get into any sort of discussion with George in a contentious manner. That's my fault. But we'll be back Monday for some drama, some real drama. We'll be talking Eric July, Vito, a lot of other things. But until then, as always, have a good evening. Enjoy your night. And as always, love, peace, booty grease. We all this bit.